All right. Thank you for joining me. I'm Mitch Goldberg. We're back to business with Be the Boss of Your Money. Took off Wednesday last week. Didn't do the stream on Thanksgiving. Friday, the day was out early, and so was I. But still, it was a pretty busy week last week. We get the banner up. We're going to an introduction coming up. Couple of things to talk about. First of all, the big warning, okay? This is the season of giving, giving, giving. Let's not make it the season of the scam. And every year there's a new scam going on. Every year I find out from people who I never thought ever could fall for a scam. They actually did fall for a scam. So what's up with that? Think before you act. You get a phone call from a relative or a friend that says they're in trouble and you have to give cash right now to somebody. You know, you get a relative, you have to give them cash right away because you're in some kind of trouble. Think before you act. But these people who prey on you, in particular, the senior citizens, they are trained professionals. They know how to motivate you to go to the bank and get cash and give it to some stranger or drop it off at some mailbox somewhere. I've heard quite a few of these stories, and these are people who do this that you never would suspect that they would fall for something like this. And then for the rest of us, there are ways to check out the legitimacy of charities, and you must know that when you give money, okay, when you give money to a GoFundMe page, it's not automatically a deduction. It can only be a deduction if a legitimate, recognized by the IRS nonprofit is doing the GoFundMe page. Other than that, if your friend does a GoFundMe page for a wonderful cause, give, that's great, but that is not a tax deduction. And if anybody tells you it is, they're wrong. By the way, you should always speak with your CPA and or your tax advisor before making any considerations regarding taxes. So we're going to roll this big month so far. It's almost over and a lot to celebrate. I don't know if people realize how strong November's been. Let's roll the intro. We'll be off in 5 minutes. Stick with me. We're going to cover a couple of goodies and it's going to be a good show. Here we go. Thank you so much for joining me. You're welcome to Be the Boss of Your Money. The show is about controlling your money. There are certain things in life that take control of you without you even realizing it. It gradually happens and you're in so deep that you don't even know how to get out of it. And that is your money, especially your money. Money seems to take control of us, our finances or lack thereof. It just takes control of you. Before you know it, you don't know how to get out of it. You don't know how to break away from the grip of the money, the grip that's controlling you. And that's what the show is about. It's how to break those chains. It's how to not just be better with your money, but really take control of your money on a day-to-day basis. We're also going to have to talk about New Year's resolutions and start them now. I'm going to tell you how I accomplished New Year's resolutions. I could do better. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do this year. That could be a whole show, and I'm really excited about that. But let's just get into the market first, how things did. Okay, let's go to the share screen. All right. So the Dow broke a 4-week, it's a little bit too early to say breaking a streak. The Dow down 56 points, which is 0.16%. That's basically a non-event. NASDAQ was off less than 10 points, which is 0.07%, 0.07%. S&P down 0.2%. Not a big deal. Gold finally hanging a little bit above 2,000. Let's see if it lasts. I think I saw Goldman Sachs come out and say, they came out and said that gold could finally be moving. I have a reason why gold is moving, by the way. And that's for the same reason that crypto is going up. Excuse me, one of those dry coughs, right? Crypto has been moving up. gold is going. Gold and crypto move together a lot, and now that it's expected that the Federal Reserve is going to go lighter, less tight, or how do I put this? Not they want to cut rates and they feel that inflation may be under control. If the Fed's cutting rates, that is good for crypto. It's good for gold. It's good for assets that don't have a cash flow to them, that don't throw off a dividend or an income. It's good for those kinds of assets. So interest rates are going down. I know. Lower interest rates is also good for dividend-paying stocks and other assets that do pay interest. But in this case, talking about gold and crypto, when the Fed starts to, or it's perceived that the Fed is going to loosen up on their interest rate policy, that is a sign, or taken as a positive sign for investors in gold and crypto. Oil continues to go lower. There's talk of peace in the Middle East. Hamas and Israel are holding up their both of them are holding up their end of a truce. I don't know if you want to call it a ceasefire. I don't know what you want to call it, but hostage exchange. There's a sense of relief that the war has not spread to other countries. We spoke about this. If you watch the show, I told you this was, if I may say, I said this would happen, that no one is going to interfere with this war. It's not going to spread to other countries. And I gave you all the reasons why Iran wouldn't get involved. Lebanon can't do anything. Syria can't do anything. Egypt doesn't want to get involved. Saudi Arabia is not going to do anything. Nobody's going to do anything. And that was the case. So basically, Israel has sent out the most powerful message there is, that if you attack us, it doesn't matter where you are or who you're hiding behind or what population center you exist in, we're still going after you. So you should consider that before you go after us. The gloves are really off. And that, my friends, is an extraordinarily powerful message. And it'll make anyone think much, much harder before they attack Israel again. 10-year yield down to the 4.3s. This is getting crazy. 4.3 handle. Look at that, 4.3% on the 10-year. Wow. That's the lowest we've seen in quite some time. It was just 5% a month ago. And everybody said, that's it. Now interest rates are going to 6, 7, 8%. I'll understand something, okay? Please, when I say understand, I'm not trying to be condescending. When there's a trend, a very, very powerful short-term trend, especially a scary one, taking place either in the stock market or the bond market, the commentators who come out the most, who are interviewed the most, who get the most attention in the media, are those that have a point of view that not only agrees with the trend, but it's people who expound on the event. It's people who want to really talk it up in a very intensifying way and a very hyperbolic way. So now it's all gloves, all bets are off. The market, is going to get tanked and the interest rates are going to fly higher. How do these people know? They don't know is the answer. And we talked about this on the show, that if you really like 5% interest, and that's your bogey for the fixed income component of your portfolio, then you would be all over that 5% yield in the 10-year treasury. A zero coupon, you would have done even a little bit better. And in an IRA, a 10-year zero coupon would have been a good thing. By the way, you can't invest directly into an index, but you could invest into a security that tracks or mimics an index. Just have to get that out of the way when I talk about indexes like the S&P 500, Dow, NASDAQ, or any index for that matter. But, it's a shame because a month ago, interest rates on the 10-year were 5. Now they're 4.3. So think about that. If you have $1 million, you're getting $43,000 and change instead of $50,000. That's $7,000 is a lot, percentage-wise, of $50,000. It's 15. No, it's almost 20%. 15%. Okay. You what can I tell you? If you missed it, you missed it. But if your bogey, you have to decide what interest rate you need. This is why a financial plan and an investment plan would help. So you get out of this business of saying, no, I'm going to wait till rates go higher. I'm going to wait till the market goes lower. It's it really should be about going for the return, the potential return that you need to help you potentially reach your goals. Not by saying I'm going to be the one who gets the peak in interest rates because I'm that smart. You're probably not. And most people did not take advantage of 5% on the 10-year because you were getting 5.5% in a 1 year and a 2 year. So why would you get 5% in the 10-year? And my reasoning was that those rates probably won't last long, because once the Fed starts cutting rates, those rates could dive, and you'll be glad you're still getting 5% on the 10-year Treasury. And if you look at the 2-year yield, let's take a look at the bond market. The 2-year is down to 4.89%, when you could have had about 5.5% on that. So a lot has changed. The title of the show is Negative Nellies Lose Out of the Big Gains this month. Did you know that the Dow Jones is up about 7% so far for this month, which is over on Thursday? Today's Monday. Did you know that the S&P 500 is up about 8.5% for the month, and the NASDAQ is up over 10% for the month? These are big gains. These have erased the losses of August, September, and October. And the month was so powerful that not only is it like a good year in 1 month, but it also shows you that if you get out of the market and you miss these big rebounds, you could have missed the entire year's worth of gains. This is why we preach long-term thinking to meet your long-term goals. We do help you with the short-term goals, but that's what cash is for. Money markets, cash equivalents, savings accounts, CDs, that sort of thing. We have James Martinez out there. Ever watch the trades on Quiver Quant? No, I don't know what Quiver Quant is, so I can't say watch the trades. But James, thank you very much for taking the time. I do appreciate it. By the way, guys and girls, if you have I'm saying guys generically to everybody. If you have a question about what we're talking about now, or something to do with personal finance, investing, whatever, ask me in the comments below. Hit me up in the comments. I'll see those as I'm doing the show. If you're watching this in the rewind, the replay, this will be on my timeline. Even though the live is over, it stays on my timeline, so you could watch it in the replay. And I will see your questions and I will answer them. I love hearing from you. It's actually the best part about doing this. And if you have words of wisdom, words of encouragement, or just your favorite emoji you want to share in the comments, please do so. Give us a thumbs up. It helps spread the good word about the work we're doing here, and it'll help your friends see the show and get alerts, and just good news, good cheer, educational content all around. If you want to reach me directly, you can send me a DM, or you could reach me through our website, clientfirststrategy.com. My phone number is there. My phone number, my email address, all my contact information is there. And, reach out to me. I'd love to speak with you. We could set up a time to talk about what we're talking about in the show, how it affects you, what your next move could be. If you're taking advantage of every possible move you could be making, there's always something you could do to help you get more out of your money than what you've done already. We're good at finding those hidden gems. Okay, just one more from you, James. Right, Quiver Quantitative shows Congress members trades. This is it. This is interesting. Usually pretty interesting to watch what I believe to be insider trades. James, I'm really glad you shared this with me. Wow, Quiver Quantitative. I want to look at this. This could be like topic for our show. You see, James, this is why I love hearing from you. Thank you so much, because this is something that I think other people would be interested in seeing also. So this is really, really cool. I appreciate that. I had no idea about that, and now I do. Thanks to James Martinez. Thumbs up to you, sir. All right, let's not get scammed in charities. I want to show you this. Okay, didn't wait, hold on. Let's see if it goes to the wouldn't you believe it? My third screen's not coming up. I don't know why that is. Okay, it freezes me on it, but I'm on the IRS website. But you could do in the Google search search for tax exempt organizations, IRS, and a website will come up. The IRS site will come up, and you could type in and find if a charity is legitimate or not. It's a really good idea. Obviously, if it's somebody you know and it's a charity recognized, that would be great. It makes life easier. But a lot of times your phone rings with a caller ID presented on it that looks like it's familiar from a charity you may be familiar with or a generic sounding charity. And they get people to give to you. They get people to give you money, like you could see in the caller ID, Salvation Army. But just know that these happen all the time. And you might want to say, can you give me your phone number and I'll call you back to see if it's legit. And if they say, no, we can't give it out, we can't give you the phone number, then hang up. Or what's your website? I want to check you guys out. If they don't give it to you, then hang up. It's a scam. These charities would be happy to share their contact information. I just don't want you to get rooked for the holiday season, okay? That's really about it. I appreciate you watching. We'll keep an eye on things. Don't have a lot of news coming out. Earnings season is over, and it's all about watching the retail sales and consumers. If consumer spending is weak, though, that's more ammunition for investors to say the Fed is done hiking rates. And that would actually be good for the stock market, in my opinion. I think you share that opinion too, right? Have a great night. Talk to you soon. Thanks.